A warm welcome to Yathirite.com, Yatris. Visiting four important temples, namely Yamunotri, Gangotri, Kedarnath, Badrinath, and more than 75 temples of worship is what Char Dham Yatra is all about. Flight and Innova car travel. 10 days Yatra. Day 1. Starting around 2 a.m. from Chennai or other cities, we take a flight via Delhi and reach Dehradun around 9 a.m. We meet a regional speaking language and English guide there who will take us to all the places. 5 persons seated in an Innova car. We proceed to Barkot city. After a 50-kilometer travel, we stop at Mussoorie and visit a world-famous Mahadev Shiva temple. Then we proceed to Kempty waterfalls. After enjoying the waterfalls, we travel around 60 kilometers to reach Lakhamandal village on the north bank of Yamuna river. In Mahabharata, Duryodhana had built a wax palace to kill the Pandavas. As a mark of respect for Pandavas, we visit the Marudeshwar Shiva temple and offer prayers for Pandavas. Subsequently, we travel 28 kilometers to reach the city of Barkot and spend the night in a comfortable hotel. Day 2. We leave Barkot in the morning, travel 45 kilometers by Innova car, and reach Janki Chatti village, a hamlet at the foothills of Yamunotri. From Janki Chatti, at their own expense, we travel 5 kilometers by horse or doli and reach Yamunotri temple. River Yamuna is considered as the daughter of Lord Surya and the sister of Lord Yama. Hence, it is believed that praying to Yamuna river pleases Lord Surya and Lord Yama. Yamunotri temple is considered as the home of goddess Yamuna Devi. This is where river Yamuna forms itself at the misty Yamunotri territory and flows on to the earth. Hot springs have formed naturally here, where men take a holy dip in Surya Kund and women take a holy dip in Chandrakund. Take a holy dip. Proceed to offer prayers to Mata Yamunotri, Mata Gangotri, and Lord Sanishwar. Then take a holy dip at River Yamuna. Carry this holy water in small containers. Then travel back to Janki Chatti on horse or doli to offer prayers to Lord Sunny. After this, we travel back to Barkot city by Innova car and spend the night in a comfortable hotel. Day 3. We leave from Barkot city early morning and travel 80 kilometers on the hills of Varanavadam, where Hindus offer prayers at Uttarkashi, one of the 4 Kashis, where Lord Shiva showed himself to Markandeya. And then we visit the Vishwanath temple to offer prayers. This is where one can find a huge mace weapon believed to be used by goddess Parvati to kill the demon Mahishasur. After offering prayers to this weapon, we proceed to a Hanuman temple nearby and offer prayers to Lord Hanuman. Then we travel for 4 kilometers and reach Laksheshwar village, where Pandavas were saved from a burning wax palace, and then proceed to worship Lord Laksheshwar Mahadev. Later, we travel for 10 kilometers to see the water flowing from the Maneri Bhali Dam. Subsequently, we cover a distance of 33 kilometers. We reach a place called Gangani, referred to as the nerve of the river Ganges, very close to where Parasura Maharishi meditated, and then we take a holy dip in the hot springs and visit a presently existing temple to offer prayers. After this, we travel 53 kilometers and reach Gangotri Temple. At the request of Emperor Bhagirathan, 24 kilometers before the Ganges on Lord Shiva's head had flown on earth at Tapovan. 19 kilometers prior to the place, considered as the origin of the Ganges River, is where the Gangotri Temple exists, built by the then General Amar Singh Thapa. We offer prayers here and then proceed to a nearby Shiva temple to offer prayers. We then offer prayers to Lord Ganesha, Goddess Saraswati, and Parvati in a temple situated on the banks of the river Bhagirathi, believed to be the sacred river of the heavens and considered the source stream of the Ganges. Subsequently, we collect holy water from the Ganges, called as River Bhagirathi, worship the Surya Kund, and then proceed from Gangotri to a village to offer prayers at the Kalp Kedar temple. Later, we travel almost 90 kilometers and reach Uttarkashi to spend the night there in a comfortable hotel. Day 4, we travel for 172 kilometers by Innova car and reach a village called Agasthamuni to offer prayers to sage Agastya in a temple, who had travelled all the way from South India to attend and bless Lord Shiva and Goddess Parvati in their wedding ceremony. Later, we travel 27 kilometers and reach one of the 4 Kashis called Gupt Kashi to offer prayers to Lord Shiva at the Vishwanath temple, a place where Lord Shiva had met Goddess Parvati for the first time. Then we collect holy Ganges water flowing from a cow-faced deity and Yamuna waters flowing from the elephant-faced deity. From here, we travel 30 kilometers and reach the foothills of Kedarnath temple to spend the night in a comfortable hotel at a place called Sonprayag. Day 5. There are 2 routes to complete today's travel. First route. At your own expense, fly in a helicopter to Kedarnath mountain, offer prayers and have darshan, and then fly back to Sonprayag or Pata. Second route. At your own expense, travel 8 kilometers by the jeep and reach Gaurikund, a place that got its name from a hymn sung by Sambandha Nayanmar. At Gaurikund, we offer prayers at the temple of Lord Arul Manneshwar. We travel another 2 kilometers and offer prayers at the Munkatiya Ganapati temple, Lord Ganesha without a head. Then, from Gaurikund, at one's own expense, travel by horse or doli and reach Kedarnath at an altitude of 12,500 feet high, a temple that is one among the 12 Jyotirlingams, an important holy temple among Panchakedar. We get to touch Shivlinga with our own hands and offer ghee and vilva leaves, bow leaves, taken by us at the Lord's very own feet and pray as long as we desire. Then we visit Bhimsila at the back of the Kedarnath temple, a huge stone structure that saved the temple in 2013 from a very heavy floods. We offer our prayers at the Adi Shankaracharya Samadhi, situated at a distance of 300 meters from the rear side of the Kedarnath temple, a place that reminds us of Adi Shankaracharya merging and becoming one with Lord Shiva. Then we offer our prayers to the Sri Bhairavnath temple from a distance that safeguards the Kedarnath temple and reach the horse stand. Then, at one's own expense, we travel on horse or a dolly and reach Gaurikund. From Gaurikund, at one's own expense, we travel for 8 kilometers by jeep and reach Sonprayag to rest at night in a 3-star hotel. Day 6. Early morning. We travel 15 kilometers by car, reach Triyogi Narayan Temple, and offer prayers to Lord Shiva. It is believed that the sacred land where Lord Shiva married goddess Parvati, the sacred pyre that was lit at the time of the wedding, is still alive and keeps burning, being taken care of and looked after by the locals. People who wish to get wedded or whose marriage keeps getting delayed for some reason or the other are allowed to perform pujas and offer prayers. Then we travel 25 kilometers from here and reach Sonprayag. After lunch, we travel 40 kilometers by car and reach Kali Math. Here we offer prayers to Kali Mata, which is one among the 51 Shaktipitas. Goddess Kali Mata is well below the ground level, and hence we offer prayers only from the earth level. Subsequently, we travel 28 kilometers and reach Ukhi Math, the winter shrine of Kedarnath. At Ukhi Math, we offer prayers and obeisance at Omkareshwar Temple, which is famous the world over. At Ukhi Math, we stay at a star-gazing lodging place and spend the night in comfort. Day 7. We leave Ukhi Math in the morning and travel 30 kilometers to reach Chopta, a city located at the foothills of Tungnath. From Chopta, we travel 3.5 kilometers on horse at one's own expense to visit Tungnath Temple, the highest Shiva temple in the world, located at a height of 12,600 feet above sea level, and one of the Panch Kedar, the place where Lord Shiva's hands fell. After darshan, we travel the same 3.5 kilometers back to Chopta. From Chopta, we travel 90 kilometers by Innova car to reach the city of Gopeshwar. Here, we visit the famous Gopinath temple, the place where Cupid was cursed by Lord Shiva when Cupid tried to distract the Lord, who was in meditation. This temple also has many Shivalingas, which were built thousands of years ago. Only in Rudranath temple, which is one of the Panch Kedar, the idols are worshipped during winter season. Thereafter, we depart from Gopeshwar and travel 28 kilometers by road to reach Garuda Ganga, the place where Vishnu shattered the pride of Garuda. Here, we will have a darshan of Sri Lakshmi Narayanan and Garudarvar shrines. Moving on, we will take a holy water from the Garuda Ganga river and collect a few pebbles from the riverbed, as they are believed to be blessed by both Lord Shiva and Lord Vishnu, that relieves one from the curses of serpents. From here, as we proceed to Joshimath, we will stop in a place called Patal Ganga and visit the Patal Ganga temple to offer our prayers. Thereafter, we resume our travel and reach Helang village. In Helang village, we will hire local jeeps and travel 15 kilometers to reach the 5th Panch Kedar temple, the place where Lord Shiva's locks are believed to have fallen on the earth. The god is referred to as Kalpeshwar Mahadev, and the temple is known as Kalpeshwar Temple. After the darshan of Kalpeshwar Mahadev, we again travel back by the same local jeeps to reach Helang village. Once we reach Helang village, we shift back to the Innova car and travel another 14 kilometers to reach the holy city of Joshimath and retire for the night in a hotel in this holy city. Day 8. At around 7 a.m., we shall be visiting the Joshimath Narsingha Perumal temple in time to witness the daily anointing of the Lord. Being the 105th of the 108 Divya Deshams, Tirupiridi is the place where Tirumangayalvar did auspicious felicitations for the Lord. After the darshan, we will proceed to the Mutt in Joshimath, founded by Adi Shankaracharya, who administered the Atharvana Veda. Here, you will have the privilege of worshipping a rare Spatika Linga, brought straight from Kailash and consecrated by Adi Shankara himself. From here, we will proceed to visit the Jyotishwar Mahadev temple and a 2,600-year-old Kalpaka Vriksha near the Adi Shankara Mutt. After this, we will depart from Joshimath and travel for around 23 kilometers by Innova car to reach a village named Pandukeshwar. This is the village where the 5 Pandavas are believed to have taken birth. Here, we will visit the Yoga Badri temple, where Vishnu gives a darshan in the yogic state, Yoga Dhyan. This temple is believed to be built by the Pandavas and is one of the Panchabadri temples dedicated to Lord Vishnu. After the darshan of Yoga Badri temple, we will depart from Pandukeshwar and proceed towards Badrinath. Our next stop will be at a place called Hanuman Chatti. This place is believed to be the site where Hanuman put an end to Bhima's arrogance. After this, our next visit would be to a place called Mana village, which is believed to be the first village of India. Mana village houses the Ganapati cave and that sage Vyasa cave. It is in this cave that sage Vyasa resided while composing Mahabharata, which was penned by none other than Lord Ganesha. After visiting the cave, we would proceed to visit Saraswati Temple, Bhima Bridge, Tripura Balasundari Temple, Kuladevi Temple, and Ghantakarna Temple. We will also visit the confluence of Alaknanda and Saraswati River in Keshavaprayag from a safe distance. Mana village is the place where the Panchapandavas and Draupadi spent their final years on the earth. It is believed that Bhima, Arjuna, Nakula, Sahadeva, and Draupadi left their physical bodies and proceeded to their heavenly abode from this very village. Mount Kailash, which we worship as the form and abode of Lord Shiva, is 175 kilometers away from this Mana village by air. While proceeding from Mana village towards Badrinath, we could catch a glimpse of the eyes of Nagaraja watching over the Vishnu and Nilkant hills. Later, we would rest briefly in a hotel in Badrinath. At around 4 p.m., we will take a holy dip in the hot springs dedicated by nature to Lord Badri and proceed for a darshan to Panchashila. Rishi Ganga, Narad Kund, Urvashi Temple, and Leela Tungi. The same day, at around 5 p.m., we shall visit the famous Vishal Badri, one of the Panchabadris, where the main idol is made of Salagrama stone, a very holy, precious, and potent stone, giving darshan to his devotees in a Swayambhu form. This place is the 104th of the 108 Divya Deshams of Lord Vishnu and is also revered as the Vaikuntham on earth. After multiple darshans of the Lord to our heart's content, we would be resting for the day in a holy city called Badrinath. Day 9. At around 6 a.m., we will be visiting the Nilkant hill in Badrinath that glitters like gold when the sun's morning rays embrace it. After taking in the sights, we shall proceed to Brahmakapalam, skull of Lord Brahma. Here, we will perform certain rituals and give offerings to our ancestors and seek their blessings. Those who are not involved in ancestral appeasements can walk 3 kilometers and have a darshan of the gods in Charan Paduka and Mata Murti temples in Badrinath. After having breakfast around 9 a.m., we shall depart from Badrinath and move towards Srinagar by Innova car. En route, we will visit the Utpanna Ekadesi cave, which is the place from where Ekadesi Devi appeared from the chest of Lord Narayana. As we proceed, we stop at Vishnu Prayag, where Alaknanda and Dhauli Ganga rivers confluence, from where sage Narada did his penance, seeking the blessings of Lord Vishnu. We shall also get to visit Vridhabhadri temple, one of the Panchabadri temples. After the darshan of the presiding god and the temple, we proceed to Nanda Devi temple in Nandaprayag, which is the abode of goddess Nanda Devi. It is believed that Lord Krishna's father, Nanda Gopan, spent his last years in this city. It is also the confluence point of Alaknanda and Mandakini rivers. Later, we will visit Karnaprayag, where Alaknanda and Pindar Ganga rivers confluence. This is the place where tragic hero Karna did his penance and received his Kavachakundala from his father, Lord Surya. It is also believed that Karna, who died in the Kurukshetra war of Mahabharata, was cremated here. We will be leaving Karnaprayag after visiting the temple built in honor of Karna. Our next stop would be Rudraprayag, the confluence point of Alaknanda and Mandakini rivers that flow downwards from Kedarnath. Here we visit Rudranath Ji and Chamunda Devi temples and leave the city by evening. We will then be visiting the Dhari Devi, one of the 108 Shakti Pitas, situated at the center of the river Alaknanda. By night, we reach Srinagar and rest in a hotel for the night. Day 10. We leave our hotel in Srinagar in the morning and travel 40 kilometers to reach Devprayag. At Devprayag, our first stop will be the place where Lord Rama did penance. This is the place where Alaknanda flows from Badrinath and Bhagirathi river flows from Gangotri. These two rivers merge to form a new river by the name Ganga. After a holy dip in the Ganges, we visit the Raghunath temple, the 103rd site of the 108 Divya Desa. Here, we get to see a stone chair on which Lord Rama sat, which is inside the temple. We will also visit a Shivalingam nearby, which is split into two. After this, we travel for a 47-kilometer distance and visit Vashishtar and Arundhati caves. Thereafter, we travel another 25 kilometers and reach Rishikesh. Places of visit in Rishikesh: Ram Bridge, Lakshman Bridge, Rameswara Temple, Shatrughna Temple, Gita Bhavan, collecting holy water from Triveni Sangamam, and Maharishi Valmiki Temple. After visiting the above-mentioned places and darshan of gods in their respective temples, we depart from Rishikesh and reach Dehradun Airport. At Dehradun Airport, each of you will get a participation certificate for successfully completing the Char Dham Yatra. Thereafter, you will board your flight from Dehradun Airport, which will take you to Chennai via Delhi. You return home with all the pleasant memories of your visit to temples, divine places, and tourist spots in Yamunotri, Gangotri, Kedarnath, and Badrinath. May God bless you all.